I have a lot that I want to get off my mind again, but I'm not going to call this video by that title because I have another one in place. Something to do with the fact that I'm on my way to making major transformations, but I've forgotten what it's called. I'm just finding out now. Should just be one page before this one. Here. I'm on my way to making an outrageous transformation, brackets, in my life. I'd also add physically as well. Very basically, just in every aspect of my life. That's what I meant, really. Okay, so in the previous video, I said that there was an announcement that I wanted to make, which I didn't say in that video, but I said I was going to say in this video. And that's to do with the following therapy in a nutshell's advice of transforming your life one small change at a time. And my change that I want to make, or changes I should say, is to do with the bedroom. It's to do with how I use the bedroom. So once I've changed, the rule is I can't go back into the bedroom until 7. However, I have contradicted that rule today to be able to get that quick 40-second clip that you've just seen. But I didn't mind, even though I knew this was the case, due to the fact that I was able to trust in myself to not do any more than that. Just to let you know, there's also something else that I've done today, but I didn't do before. No, that there's something I did today, which I have done in the past but undid, which is to do with the YouTube notifications. I've turned them off again. And if I get any YouTube notifications in my Gmail, which I have done, I'm just gonna delete those to further separate myself from this journey, so that I'm invested into the journey a healthy amount, instead of simply just consuming a whole lot and allowing myself to get sucked into the consumer world of YouTube. So if I find out how to undo YouTube notifications through the Gmail, then I'll certainly make sure that I don't get any notifications from through the Gmail account to get sucked in. I'm not going to allow myself to get sucked in. I actually am going to watch a YouTube video about that, so that doesn't happen. I'm going to make a note of it now. I think I disabled notes on the iPhone, so I made a note of it through iMovie. I put a picture and then just wrote text on it telling me what to do. So again, let's go back to the rules I've decided that I want to focus on, and that announcement I said I'd make in this video. So bedroom rules are: once you wake up, you get up, and once you get up, you can't go back into bed. Those rules today I have followed. And once you've changed, you can't go back into the room. You can't go back into the bedroom. And once you've done that, you have to stay out of the bedroom after getting changed until 7 in the evening. And then when it's time, do the evening routine. I think that would be really easy. I think this is going to be really easy now that I'm just so not I have basically, no, not basically, I have no interest in watching a YouTube video anymore. If I have to, I don't think I can't get the information anywhere else. And or I trust myself to watch it, then fuck off. Then I'll watch like one video. I'll limit myself to one video a day because I'm just so not wanting to watch YouTube anymore, especially after learning, potentially learning the truth as to how Tommy Innit grew his channel, and seeing other creators like Hamza do this same technique, or Hamza's editor do that same technique. I'm just like, no, I don't want it anymore. I don't want it anymore because it's in my mind, with that in mind, it's like I'm being taken advantage of. But they aren't taking advantage of me. They're just doing what it takes to grow their channel and to grow their audience. So it's not them that's taking advantage of me, but it's, in a way, me taking advantage of me. Because I now know that this is happening. So if I know better, I'm going to do better, and that's what I'm going to do in this case, instead of knowing better but then not doing better and self-sabotaging from making progress that I could make and unleashing my true potential. I'm not going to allow that to happen. And that started from yesterday. No more. Okay, so that's the announcement done. Okay. I think it's only fair, seeing this title is going to be, I'm on my way to making an outrageous transformation, in brackets, in my life, that I talk about this fairly on in the video, through the milestones I'm looking forward to. So I put a whole list of milestones I'm looking forward to, and I'm going to read them out now. 100, 120 to 125, 180, 270, 360 to around 368. Okay, so when it comes to the 100 to 125, first of all, I would have hit triple digits, and going to the other end of this milestone, I would be at around a third of the year into this, not only body transformation but life transformation, especially seeing as I'm now starting to, I put in these notes, start to take this super seriously, but what I'd instead call it is, now that I've started to make this change of not watching YouTube a whole lot anymore, ever since I've done this and started this from last night, every single day I'm making major changes, bit by bit and piece by piece. And as the days go on, that's only going to become more and more and more obvious. I think by this point, especially the 125 mark, the day 125 mark, I would have expected to transform my life and grow as a person. I would have expected myself to learn more. I would have expected myself to transform my eating habits. I would have expected myself to make improvements in this journey and in the gym, in the physical aspect of things, and therefore mental aspect of things. For example, in the gym, I expect myself to lift heavier than what I am now, and I also expect myself to be able to plank for longer in this journey, and to not necessarily do more difficult exercises, but to be able to do more reps. For example, the push-ups, I could do them. And for example, when it comes to the plank, I probably would expect myself to do the 4 minute plank, especially seeing as I was able to achieve getting the 3 minute plank much earlier than I expected. I didn't achieve the 3 minute plank on the 26th of March as I wrote in my aims. That was a mistake. I thought that was the date that I achieved it on. It wasn't. It was on the 27th, which is my day 4 of when I set the aims, set my 30th of April aims. I've posted a video about what my aims were, so you'll be able to check that out. It's all there. Okay. Right. I would have also expected this channel to have grown very slightly by this point, even if it's 2 subscribers to 5 subscribers. And I would have also expected more people to be watching these videos. The reason why I think I've said this, even though I didn't write it down, is because my story is very real. My story is very real, and you can obviously see how I'm changing. And perhaps you guys that aren't me in the self-improvement community, you'll notice changes that I'm making which I may not be able to notice. And I think I'm also expecting this growth because I would have achieved more by this point, even if it's a slight bit more. Just like how I would have achieved a slight bit more, I would have expected myself to make a very slight amount of growth, especially seeing as this community, this self-improvement community and this channel are in the very early stages. That actually also reminds me of something. So when it comes to growing the channel, I'm not going to be a Nikocado avocado and only focus on making videos that made the channel grow. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take the long route and earn my keep, because that way, when people subscribe to the channel, they're subscribing for who I truly am. They're subscribing for what I'm doing. They're subscribing to see the story, the real story, and not only the story that people will want to hear. I'm putting not everything out there. I'm not going to make people, I'm not going to uncover people's anonymity, if that's even a word. I'm not going to do that, but I am showing the journey almost in its entirety. There are some things when it comes to the journey that happen off camera in which I'm improving. It does happen, but if that does happen, I've got an example of this in today's vlog that's going to come up and that I'll talk about later. But if it does happen, I'll let that be known. Unless it's like a job in which I can't legally disclose information, for example, saying the company name and that. I'm not going that far. Again, I'm not going to disclose that sort of I'm not going to disclose that sort of information. Okay, so let's move on to the day 180 mark. The day 180 mark is another milestone that is important to me, because it would be 6 months in around this point. I'll make it a range. Instead of just saying 180, it would be around 180 to 190, yeah. So it would be 6 months in, and pardon me, that therefore means that we're 50% of the way into this journey, which is that's mental, especially seeing as this is not only a body transformation journey, an exercise journey, but it's also, and more predominantly out of the 3, a life transformation journey. That's one of the main reasons why I'm using this channel for, and because that takes precedence over growing the channel. When more people come and see this part of the self-improvement community, which I've named self-improvement, people are going to watch because it resonates with them, and because my story is very real. Or perhaps they have their own very specific reasons, or reason that isn't anything that I've just said then or here. Now. I think this milestone, as I wrote down, is also important to me because I may be using a camera, an SD card, the new editing app my friend recommended to me, which she's given me a link to. Nicola, I've called her. Nicola gave me the link to her editing app. So I've seen that, and by the 180 mark, I may actually be using it. So, because I'd be doing all this, that would mean higher quality visuals. I forgot to mention a microphone as well. That would mean higher quality visuals, higher quality audio. That would mean new thumbnails, new transitions, and basically overall massive improvement when it comes to the videography side of this journey. This may actually be happening by the day 180 mark. Get a SD card and call it a quote-unquote business expense, seeing as I'm on the way to making this channel earn me money and pay me a lot more than the cost of an SD card would be over in the long run. That absolutely is going to be the case because I'm making that a reality every day. Yeah, I really think, going back to the main point, I really think that by this time I would have figured it out and I would be making much more serious and appealing videos. But that said, if my making appealing videos means that you guys who are watching are just basically binge watching my content, I'd say please don't, and instead work towards making small improvements in your life so that you can have your own story. Even though this is now basically just turned into a place where I make my logs and dip, even though I can't control it, I'd much rather give a means as to how you can not stay addicted to YouTube and not put yourself in a position where you're doing what it takes to have a YouTube addiction. That's what I'd say. I'd say take it one small change at a time, which for me, at this point in time, I'm starting off with getting out of the bedroom and making how I use the bedroom much healthier than it ever has been. I'd also if you're struggling, if you believe you're struggling with YouTube addiction that you've made, this is the piece of advice I give you. Go on that same video that I went on. Learn how. There's a video out there that has millions of views. I think at this point in time in recording this video it's 3 million. And it's a video about how Tommy and It grew his channel. It's the same video that I spoke about earlier in this video here. And if you watch that, may better understand how it works, how the creators you watch are actually increasing the likelihood of you staying engaged with their videos. Understanding even a slight bit of that video and recalling even a slight amount of that video, I allowed myself to put thoughts down to audio how I usually would. I'm referring to the previous video I made, by the way. The very video before this one. And yeah, I've really had enough of consuming YouTube. Like, this time, really have had enough of doing that. So maybe that's another piece of advice you could follow. Watch that how Tommy Innit grew his channel how Tommy Innit grew his channel in 1 year video. That's not the exact title of it, but it's close enough. And you'll see it. You'll see how creators are doing it. And another piece of advice going off that one is to listen to it, listen to his message, and then go back and watch creators that you would watch and recall that information with reference to that information, and you'll see, whoa. That's what I did with one of Hamza's videos about the letter, as I said in the previous video. That, yeah, I saw him, I think his editor is switching from clip to clip, here, there, and everywhere. I'm talking about the green screen background, by the way. He's the green screen in the background is just switching from clip to clip, so which allows you to stay engaged, and the short timestamp is long enough for the full message to be put across, but short enough for people's attention spans nowadays to be able to watch the whole video. When I did this, I was like, nah, fuck that. I've had enough. So, yeah, this is where I'm at today, on the way to making major fucking transformations. MAJOR. Seriously, major. And you'll see it. You'll see it as this community grows, as we grow it together. Just saying this is reminding me of a YouTube channel, another content creator that I've found out about yesterday through one of the comments that he made on a video. And his name is Amin. His YouTuber name is Amin, I think. And I have no idea how this guy did it. All the fucking power to him. If on the premise he's being truthful about it, all the power to him for getting that 100 subscribers within less than a month. He said it was a month. It wasn't. Yeah. He made the video yesterday, I think. So that's the 29th. And if he's being truthful, his channel started in early March from the 2nd. That was one of his earliest videos. I went back to see that. If he's being truthful and he's done this, well, no, he certainly has done this, sorry. But if he started uploading from 0 subscribers on the 2nd of March and he's gained 100 subscribers in this space of time, starting from yesterday, like, wow, that's pretty impressive. However, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to be him. Not at all. I'd much rather be in the position that I am now. Have the 5 subscribers that we have. It's not me. I don't have them. It's a us thing. Have the 5 people subscribe to the channel. Yeah. And not be told I sound like, in his case, Hamza. I sound like another creator. I'd much rather take my 5 subscribers and not be told that than have 100 subscribers in the space of less than a month and be told, yeah, I sound like someone else. In the entirety of making videos for this journey, I've never been told I sound like someone else. Let me tell you one thing. Pardon me. Let me tell you one thing. I know I found my natural voice. I know I found my own voice. And I was able to find it by putting thoughts down to pad and coming off the screens. No, putting the screens in another room. From the time I want to go to bed all the way up to picking up the screens, if I want to, in the middle of the morning routine. This is something that I've been preaching on about for a while now, maybe a couple of weeks or so. And this is, as I've said in a previous video, is what's allowed me to find my own voice. So, as far as I'm aware, I'm never going to have that issue. And if someone does say that, then so be it. I know in myself that I'm not out here sounding like anybody else, because I'm going through my own experiences. I have my own experiences to talk about. And as far as I'm aware, from all the videos I've watched, I don't sound like any other creator, and I'm not in the mind space of any other creator. That certainly doesn't mean that I'm better than any of these people at all. Even though I think my content's on a whole new level, I'm not better than these people. And I wouldn't say I'm special, but I'll tell you what though, I know my voice is unique. So if somebody else on the comment section were to say that that's not the case, I just respectfully disagree. Alright, I haven't even spoken about all of the milestones I'm looking forward to yet. Like that guy who was on The Wire said that. Yeah, that guy. Clay Davis, I think his name was. Day 210 to 250. Not 50, sorry. 15 is also another milestone point that I'm that I'm looking forward to. Because it's around 120 days from this mark. And on average, a month is around 30 days. Around about 30 days. And times 30 by 4, 120 plus the point we're at now, day 90, 210 to 215 around about. And the reason why I put this as a milestone is from seeing how much I can make First Man's video idea of it takes 4 months to transform your life seem true. I want to see how far. What I mean is, I want to see how far I could transform my life and how drastically I could transform my life in the space of 4 months. So that's why I've put that down there. 270, the 9 months mark to the 75% of a year mark. I may have a new laptop. I may have a new channel trailer by this point. As far as I'm aware from watching a YouTube video or two about channel trailers, I know for sure Kevin Samuels has one. I think David Aniquilo, I don't know how to say his surname, but if you watch and you hear me butcher this, let me know how to pronounce that surname, because I'm not out here purposefully fucking it up. But anyway, yeah, this is going to be, that's going to be a major point in the journey, because again, 75% of a year in. And from this mark, it's going to be around like 6 months. Yeah, it's going to be around 6 months from this point. 6 months from this point, and I'm just getting started, but things are really starting to change now. Crazy. Like, things are after watching that How Tommy In It Grew channel. Like, I'm done with consuming YouTube so much. I'm done with that life. That's in the past. Because I even know a slight bit as to what goes into it for that sort of content to work and to grow, and for audience retention to stay so long. No, to be so long and through go fucking hell. I now have a slight understanding as to what it takes for these YouTube creators to grow so quickly. I don't think Ivan Juric has ever done that though. He just works out and he posts, and people like him for who he is, and that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm doing. By talking about what I honestly want to talk about, instead of just only making videos in order to grow, because then that means I'm hindering the progress to transform my life, and transforming my life is much more a priority than growing the channel. So when people subscribe and people view it, they're gonna like it for me. They're gonna like it for my story. That's what I'm trying to say. Maybe my personality, they find what I talk about interesting in that. Maybe not. That's all down to them. That's all down to you guys. I'm just using this as a log to be able to put my thoughts down to audio and have a place to upload it. This is basically all this is to me now. I know I can't control the growth of this community, of this self-improvement community and that, so I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to bother stressing about thinking about it and that, so be it. Alright, so the last milestone I'm looking forward to, around the 360 to 368 mark. This is the year mark, yeah? Especially from this point, I put down, I wonder how much I would have transformed my life and how much the channel would have grown, especially from the day 94 point, which is yesterday. My physique will be looking crazy, or in the words of Raw Safe, crazy. It will be looking crazy, yeah? My physique will be looking absolutely mental. So those are all of the milestones that I have at this point in time. But one more thing when it comes to the year mark, I wonder how far, I have no idea how far I would have transformed what I can do with my body. How many more interesting exercises I can do with my body, and how much more mental strength I would have gained. How much money I'd be earning by that point. Whew. Yeah, like, this is no joke. I don't even know. Anything's possible. Like, although I'm not setting my mind on it, I genuinely could be earning 50 grand next year. You just don't know. You really don't know what could happen. Like, I genuinely could be earning 50 grand by the 365 day mark. Am I setting my eyes on that? No. That's probably unrealistic as hell, but it can happen. It can happen. That's what I'm saying. Alright. Yeah, alright. In the words of Blueface. Let's move on. So I said I wanted to go shopping. I didn't go shopping. I had a stir fry instead. I enjoyed it too. Even though it was high carbs and low protein, I really enjoyed it. It did have quite a few chunks of meat up in there. Yeah. A whole load of beef. But Mummy cooked the stir fry. And we ate it. And you know what? My food my food's better than that food there. My food is better than mummy's food. Because not only is it healthy for the body, that the body can fucking take it. The body can take it and it makes you feel full up. Because my meals are much higher protein than mummy's meals. Mummy said she did a nutrition course. But I don't think that matters. Yeah. What matters is your actions. And mummy does have a bit of a belly. So, I mean, yeah. That's that. That's all that need be said. Imagine. Oh, well, she's told me she's done one. Yeah. But I know for sure not to follow her advice when it comes to eating. Because I can tell by how she looks, she's not eating in the most healthy of ways. However, that certainly doesn't make her a quote-unquote bad person or a good person per se or anything like that. That certainly isn't what I'm trying to suggest, but I'm just saying the reality of things. I'm not going to carry on eating like that and carry on eating her meals, because I not only prefer mine, her food is tasty, but my food's also tasty, and my food is healthy. It makes me feel full and agile, and it allows me to transform my body to physique that is going to look absolutely amazing. It's going to look fucking sexy. Oh my gosh. My body, I don't know how sexy it's going to be looking, but I know it's just going to be sexy. It's going to be, oh my gosh. When it comes to a physical standpoint, I'm going to be so sexually attractive because I have an amazing looking face as well. Like, I have an attractive face. Even at this point, I have a sexually attractive face. So, oh my gosh, combine that with a banging physique. That's banging is the thing that's that they're gonna have on their mind. I'll tell you what. But that's not even a. You know what? When it comes to dating, yeah. When it comes to dating girls, I'd much rather not have that on my mind and not voluntarily put that on their mind as well. When I say that, I mean sex. Because I'd much rather just have the mindset I'd much rather the both of us have the mindset of just wanting to enjoy our time together and the time we spend together than just thinking of fucking. I'd much rather have that than putting the both of us in a position where the only thing we're thinking about is just fucking 24/7. I'm not going to put myself in a position where that's the case. And if the girls I date are only thinking about sex, are only thinking about having sex with me, I mean, what could I do? Especially if I'm just wanted to have a good time with her. Like, I don't think there's anything else I could really do about that. But is what it is. If that happens because of them really liking my personality and them really being sexually attracted to my personality and what I'm doing and my physique as well, I mean, there's nothing I could do about that. But when it comes to dating anyway, I'll do my best to put the both of us in a mindset where we just really enjoy our time together. That would be my aims for dating. Because I'd much rather that than talk about sex all the time. Or even somewhat. Maybe I'd much rather just talk about sex and have sex very occasionally instead of talking about it all the time or even somewhat. Because again, I don't see that as enjoying my time with girls. I have enough self-respect and respect for them to be able to want to get to know them for who they truly are, see if I actually find them interesting when they speak. see, look for green flags, look for red flags, and what I call white flags, which I've classed as submissive characteristics, because when it comes to the white flag is peace/surrender. I went more onto that surrender part, but in the bedroom. Oh no, wait, no, the voiceover is still fine. Okay, I've got to add more pictures to this voiceover. You probably don't know what that means, but I know what that means, and I don't give a toss. I'm not going to explain that. If you know how iMovie works, actually no, fuck it, I'm going to explain it. It seems like I'm doing that now and actually contradicting myself. If you know how iMovie works, once there are no more pictures running and it's just black, the phone, if you don't tap on the screen, it will turn off. That's what I'm talking about. I need to add more pictures so that I could just carry on talking without tapping the screen. So I'm going to do that now. All right, we're back and we're good. Sorted it out. So, talking about that, I've just remembered from the previous voiceover at the end, it spurred another thought in my mind about what happened yesterday. I just noticed both girls were really looking at me in their cars. Some young girls, some really young girls, like kids, were just staring at me. I was just walking across the street. I wasn't doing anything, but I noticed that they were staring at me. Also, teenage girls were staring at me as well, and a couple of guys were looking my way in their cars as well. I don't know why. I don't know why that's the case, and why that could be the case where girls are just fucking staring at me and shit. But yeah, that's just something interesting that I wanted to point out. Again, I'm telling you, it's probably the attractive face. I can't lie. It reminds me of school, actually. Back in A-levels. It's like, this is actually somewhat different to what I was just talking about then, with girls looking at me in the street, on the street as they're being driven or driving, and also guys looking at me as well. It's different to that, but it's just made me think. Back in A-level times, when I was in year 13, it's like girls can fucking sniff sex appeal. It's like they just know. I have no fucking idea how this is the case, but when it comes to sex appeal, women are like dogs. They can sniff that shit out. I have no fucking idea how they do it, but it's just like it just happens. For example, yeah, there's this one girl, let's call her Lily, and we're in the maths class. Seeing as I was one of the subjects I did for A-levels was maths. I did biology, chemistry, and maths. I also wanted to do physics as well. It was the grade equivalent of keeping up with the Joneses. Honestly, if I'm being dead honest with you, I was doing the grade equivalent of keeping up with the Joneses, so I seemed intelligent. I don't know why like, I knew I had it in me to do well. I think that's what it is. I knew I had it in me to get those top grades. So I think that's what it is, and that's why I wanted to keep on doing that, to just fulfill that. I've never thought about it in that way, that I've wanted to fulfill. I just wanted to fulfill that aim of getting top grades because I knew I could do it. But anyway, going back to this sniffing the sex appeal thing, yeah. There was this one girl, Lily, and she was staring at this. She was full out. She was full out staring. She was full out staring at this guy called Nicholas. Again, an anonymous name for him, and she asked without even looking in my direction. I just knew the answer to that question. Ooh, what's his name? She said. It was kind of like that delivery, in something along those lines, but that was what she was asking. That was what she was getting across, basically. So I say his real name. It's not Nicholas. And yeah, I don't remember what else was said, but I remember another event. Yeah, same guy, Nicholas. Yeah, we were all basically just I think it could have been break time or lunchtime, or maybe even a study period, like how you have in A-levels. A study period, for those that don't know, is a free school period in which you could just study because you don't have any subjects going on at that time. But anyway, yeah, it could have been a break, lunch, or study period. And there were so many girls around him. There was so many, yeah. There were at least probably like at least 5 to 6 girls, all like surrounding him, basically surrounding him. Yeah, and they were all just looking down as if they weren't fucking attracted to him and that. And then as soon the fucking second he left, they were all like, oh my god, oh, he's so hot, like, oh my god, like, so attractive, like. Serious, I'm fucking telling you, it's like they can sniff it out. It's like they can sniff it out. I don't fucking understand how. I don't get it. I don't get it. But that was just, whew. That guy, yeah, he was known as the ladies' man. Shout out Nicholas. Imagine if he watches this video now, he probably knows who he is. Oh, Nicholas. Yeah, he was a proper ladies' man. Yeah, Italian geese. Proper ladies' man. He was a proper ladies' man. And he wasn't even trying. He just existed. His face just existed how it was. His height just existed how it was. I'm 6'1", and he was taller than me. So I'd say he was about anywhere from 6'3" to 6'5". This guy, Italian geezer. Whew. Yeah, he was quite the ladies' man. It's probably the Italian as well that probably made him seem more sexually attractive in that. But man, yeah, he was the ladies' man. I forgot the whole point of this, but yeah, it was to say that it's like girls can sniff it out. I have no idea how, but yeah. I don't think I have much else to say on that, yeah? So, let's move on. I made like 5 A5 pages worth to talk about, and I haven't even spoken about one. Hold on a sec. Actually, no, tell a lie. I've spoken about one and a bit. Out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5. Out of 5.5, I've spoken about 1 and a bit pages, and it's like we're getting on to the 50-minute mark. It's fucking ridiculous. I don't quite know how, but yeah, it seems like I have a lot to get off my mind, as I said at the start of the video. Alright, so I have another thing that I'd like to talk about, yeah? So, it's this. Is the red pill truthful about girls wanting to get fat when they're getting married / are married, compared to them being skinny when they're in the girlfriend stage, but they're just wanting to get fat? And this made me think of one of my sisters. Like, ever since they've been, one of my sisters anyway, and her boyfriend have been going through the marriage process, she started putting on a whole lot of weight. I have just lost flow because I was cleaning the car. So, yeah, I'm going to have to go back to the voiceover again that I made previously before cleaning the car. It's still dusty, but the car is much cleaner than it once was. To be fair, it's much cleaner than it once was. So that's a start. I mean, the water bottle holder is still really dusty and dirty because I forgot to clean this part. But yeah, it made progress in cleaning the car. When it was given to me, it was given in quite a dirty state. Even though Alexandra, may she rest in power and peace, she obviously wasn't a dirty person by how she kept her room so clean. She was not a dirty person, but the car was given in a dirty state. And I've cleaned it, but it's still dusty. I haven't washed all of the things. I don't know what they're called. But it's the parts that are in the car for where people step, where people have their shoes on and that. front passenger, driver, and for the guys in the back. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna have to do that now so I can carry on going through this. I don't think I want to talk for much longer because I have way too much to say, and I've written too many fucking things to go through in one day. So I'll do a little bit, let you know what happened yesterday and that. But other than that, that's going to be it. All right. So yeah, getting back to the red pill truth. This is something that I think I've now seen firsthand, which they're talking about. Say, one of the things from my memory, remember AMS, Alpha Male Strategies, saying this. I'm not sure about any other creators, but I do know it has been said. And that's the truth of girls wanting to get fat instead of staying skinny when they get married, because that's their end game. Now, I've seen one of my sisters get fat, and she's moved out. She's moved out to another place. And in her room, I could see photos of her in the girlfriend stage. And I can tell you what, she's put on quite a bit. She's put on quite a bit. It's so unfortunate to see that she's let herself go like this, but this is the reality of things. Maybe she hasn't realised it, but I mean, like, yeah, it just made me think, what the fuck? Is this really true? But from first hand, I could say maybe it is. Maybe some of the ideologies from the red pill can be really unhealthy for both the male and the female. Seeing as I'm a heterosexual man, my orientation's heterosexual, so that's all that matters to me. I'm not interested in talking about the gay side of things, even though I don't have anything against them, but I'm just not gay, so I'm not going to talk about gay stuff. Is it true? Well, from first-hand experience, I may be inclined to say yes. Maybe. It sounds like I'm looping, just saying the same things over and over again. But what else is there to add? Well, there could be her reasoning why, what's happened for her to get to this position. I haven't actually asked her, and I haven't spoken about it. I haven't said anything to her, even though I've realised that she's put on weight. I saw her on a, I think, FaceTime call yesterday. But there isn't much to say. I'm not anything like my sisters at all. We don't have much in common at all. That suddenly just got very deep. Yeah, from my experiences, like, we don't have much in common at all. One of my sisters, I could tell from her room, she like reading a whole load of murder books, and the other one of my sisters, she likes listening to murder documentaries and that. Like, I'm not about that at all. I'd rather not watch YouTube at all, and I'd rather not read fictional books about murder. Yeah, I think that's probably why I haven't really spoken to them much since moving out, other than going here and there to help when I said I would. But that's it. I don't think I'm ever really going to speak to them much, if at all, anymore, because we don't have much in common. There isn't much to say. Damn. Damn. There isn't much that need to be said. I'm just going to keep on doing my thing, keep on transforming my life. Because to me, that's really all that matters. Just transforming my life and making it something amazing. And if there are negative influences, people who complain a lot, I think they're called Debbie Downers, that's the name for them, then that means I certainly keep my distance. Will I have to cut my family off? I don't know. Maybe. Seems like they, or at least, if I don't, I'll certainly keep my distance. Because we're nothing alike, and I know that all of my family members aren't people that I'd want to be like. I don't aspire to be like any of my family members at all. My family can complain quite a lot from my experience. Or maybe that's just the part, them complaining is just the parts which I've predominantly remembered instead of the positive side of things as well. I know that there's that aspect to remember, but damn, man. Yeah, we don't have much in common at all, so when I do move out, I'm not going to speak to my family often. Not even out of hatred, but just out of self-preservation, because I don't want me, or if I do have kids, my kids as well, to be negatively influenced by them, by all their fear and their complaining. I've gone through that, and if I do have kids, I don't want my kids to go through that as well and have to experience the same shit I had to experience. Hearing all of the arguments and hearing all of the fighting, the belts, hearing all the shouting, and also somewhat being involved in the shouting. I shouted back at one of my sisters once. I just had enough. That was in the old house when it was so much smaller. And I was thinking of saying how many family members there are and what bedroom house we're in the past, and what sort of bedroom house we're in now, to give further context. But to keep anonymity and keep that information anonymous, I'm going to not say that. I don't need to say that in order to work through this freely. I don't need to, so I want to leave that information unknown. I'm not going to speak about that. Damn, that red pill truth. Talking about that red pill truth has just made me speak about something much deeper. It could be that was on my mind as well, but damn, that's what I have to say, really. Like, damn, that's it. Yeah, I'm not going to speak to my family, well, especially when I move out. Just for the sake of self-preservation, I'm not going to speak to them often, if at all. Because I know, especially my mum, of all people, they can complain a lot, and they live with a lot of fear, especially seeing as my parents watch the news. One of my sisters, again, when I was helping her out, I heard her listen to all those murder documentaries and that. I don't want to be a part of that anymore. And I don't have to be. I'm certainly not disowning myself from the family or anything like that, no. But I know that I can surround myself with better. I deserve better, seeing as I'm going through this transformation journey. I deserve better for myself than hearing the fear-mongering of the Ukraine war, the Sky News, the murder documentaries, hearing people complain and shit. I just want to enjoy my life, transform my life and get shit done. That's me. Work through things I need to work through and be around people that are better than me. When it comes to my physique and just in life in general, regardless of age. Harry, in my opinion, is better than me. He's had to work. He's worked for shit. He's got a black belt in Taekwondo. He's, I don't want to say. I don't know. He's younger. He's younger than me. Harry's younger than me. He's a personal trainer in training. It could be anyone. If I say his age, it could be anyone. Yeah, all right. He's a trainer in training. He's 17. Yeah. And yeah, he's worked. He's worked for a lot. He shout out to him. He's got a black belt in Taekwondo. He's doing big things. Let's just put it like that. He's doing big things, and so am I. Day by day, bit by bit, and piece by piece, I'm becoming a better person than I ever would have expected to be. All right. Yesterday, got a job offer. I got a job offer on it via email. Just the basic. Oh hey, I saw your CV on this website. Do I want to say it? Yeah, all right. Yeah, I saw your CV on CV Library. Basic copy and paste job offer, it seems. Because it's at home and in office, it's like, do I want to do it? I don't know. But I do know one thing, that my manifestations of saying I am going to be earning big bucks, mega bucks, the shit's working. I'm doing what it takes to be able to get opportunities, and I'm making opportunities for myself, even through this. And, mate, I actually tell you my opinions about getting one of those basic customer service-like jobs. Short term, it's okay, because I'd be earning money and I'd be learning from it. I'd have experiences that I wouldn't have otherwise had, that can allow me to grow as a person. I was going to say in my professional and personal life, but fuck that shit. Again, when it comes to money, my mindset is to do fun things that pay me, instead of using all of this average Joe terminology of temporary, permanent roles and all that fucking bullshit. Nah, this is long term. What I'm interested in doing long term. This is it. Do this. Do things related to this. And just keep it moving. Really. Go have fun in real life. Do fun things that pay me. Go out there, socialise, make friends that I actually want to be friends with, who are trustworthy. Go out there on dates and shit. That's it. Just enjoy my life, really, instead of being your average Joe that doesn't do shit. Oh my gosh. You know, that reminds me of one guy, yeah? One guy I met in the previous role. Let's call him Derek. I remember Derek, yeah? This guy, he said he was in customer service for 14 years. My heart sank. When I saw that, I looked at him. I had my poker face on, but deep down, my fucking heart sank. My heart sank, and I know for absolutely goddamn sure that I am much better than that. I deserve better than that. I'm transforming my life every single day. Bit by bit and piece by piece, I'm transforming my life. There's no way I'm fucking settling for customer service for 14 years. 14 years. No, I'm not doing that shit. 14. 1-4. Like, ow. How can you do that to yourself? How can you do that to yourself? Why is it that... Oh. Mate, he plays a whole load of games as well, yeah? He was telling me he likes to play games. He likes video games, I mean. He likes to play video games, and that's probably a part of why he's in that position where where he is today. And I'll tell you what, he could be an amazing individual. He has amazing characteristics. Derek, his memory. Oh my gosh. I think it was because he admitted that he was dyslexic as well. He actually taught me how dyslexia works. I'm not in any way making fun of people who are dyslexic as well. Let me just clear that up before I proceed. Yeah, his memory was top notch. It was top notch. This guy, his memory was so amazing. And with that memory, he could be earning mega bucks. He could be, he's in poor shape as well physically. His physique is bang on overweight, borderline. I was going to say borderline morbidly obese, but no, he's certainly overweight. He's not feeding himself in a healthy way. He's feeding himself way too much. It's such a shame. And I know that I'm not going to make myself go through that for sure. No way in hell I'm going to make myself go through that. But I'll tell you what, I think that was a lesson. I'm not doing that. The way how my heart sank. If he didn't say that seriously, if he didn't genuinely say that, I don't think I would have had that certainty. I probably wouldn't have this much certainty that I know I'm not doing that sort of thing. It'll be only for a short while, but when it comes to money making, it's going to be online. It's going to be mega bucks online, 6 figures, and then up from there. Mate, I don't plan. If I want to be a billionaire, then fine. But right now, I'm setting my aims on the 9-figure mark. And if I want to be a billionaire when I've got to that mark, then okay, all right. But for now, I mean, yeah, that's where the aim is. And I can make money. I can do that by making mega bucks online. Mate, Joe Rogan's done it. He's gone and bagged himself apparently an 100 million deal on Spotify. Yes, this is old news, and I'm saying it like it's new news. Listen, just take it with a grain of salt, yeah? Just take it with a grain of salt. Apparently, you got an 100M deal with Spotify. Do I want to do deals with other people to earn that money? No, I'd rather earn my fucking keep. Not that he didn't, but I'd rather just make that 9 figures with my own shit, with what I'm doing, and just expanding again, and making a whole load of cash that way. So that's the plan. Do I want to carry on? There's a lot. There is a lot. Okay. Yeah, let's talk about last night again. So, I was saying earlier in the video that I was just thinking, you know what, fuck YouTube. And when I say fuck YouTube, I don't mean entirely. I mean the consumption part. I mean the consumption part of YouTube. That's what I mean. Don't want to do that anymore. But YouTube can be an amazing platform. It can be an amazing platform to release your ideas, but what it does with the algorithms and all that, it can hook you if you allow it to. You've allowed yourself to be hooked onto a YouTube addiction if you just mindlessly watch over and over and over again. But in order to, what's worked for me, snap yourself out of it, is to watch videos like how Tommy Innit grew his channel in a year. And you'll see all the techniques that creators use in order for that shit to work. And now that I've seen even that one thing of no static footage or whatever it's called, yeah. When I that's the main thing I've taken from that video. And now it's like, even with that alone, I'm like, nah, not doing it. So in order to snap yourself out of a YouTube addiction, learn about what's done that makes it very easy to watch and that maintains audience retention. That's what I'd say. All right. Yes. And because I thought, you know what, fuck this. I've never wanted to pick up a book more. I've never wanted to transform my life more. I did read, but I picked up my 2x2 Rubik's Cube and my 3x3 Rubik's Cube, and I just started going at it. I've had probably the most productive Rubik's Cube learning sessions, or for short, cubing learning sessions I've had yet. I can now use the basic method to solve a 3x3 without having to look back at the book that the whole Rubik's Cube set came with. I've learned quite a few algorithms here and there, but honestly, this isn't fresh to me. This isn't completely 100% fresh to me. Cubing is something that I had once done in the past, maybe last year. I certainly have bought that Rubik's Cube set from Amazon quite a while ago. But now I've picked up, and since I'm not going to be watching YouTube a whole lot, if at all anymore, that's going to be one of the things I do as a hobby that doesn't pay me, that I like, and that may stimulate my mind in a way that I wouldn't have otherwise been able to do. So, yeah, as I was saying, I learned quite a whole load of algorithms. If you don't know, algorithms are it's a certain set of moves that you can do on the cube to get to where you want to get to. There's a whole load of terminology which you'd have to learn at the start in order to understand what the algorithms mean. For example, knowing what U, R prime, U prime, what all of these things mean, but it's very easy. I don't know which content creator said this on YouTube as I was learning how to cube a while ago last year. It could have been JPerm, so if it is, big him up. But the way that I understood it, which made it very easy for me to understand when it comes to knowing how the moves work and determining whether it's not a prime or is a prime, is the prime moves are anti-clockwise for the face, and the not prime moves are clockwise for the face. For example, if it's just U, which is up, the up face, the face at the top, if it's just U, you're moving the up face clockwise. Or if it's U prime, you're moving the up face anti-clockwise. That's how that works. And that is, cubing is a fucking ocean worth of technology. Technology is it's a complete ocean worth of terminology, and that's what I meant, sorry, not technology, full of terminology. Cubing's really nice. I do like the feel of the cube when I'm doing moves, but I think I personally like to get a more high quality one. Not necessarily expensive, but a more high quality cube, because sometimes doing the moves is a bit awkward because of how the cube is, how it slides in that. But my cubing set at the moment, I feel more than happy with for now. It's okay, but as I'm doing this, I'll probably want to invest in higher quality gear because I'm a high quality person, so I deserve high quality. And I'm a person that's only getting even more and more high quality as the days progress. That just is how it is, man. I feel more than happy with the set that I have at the moment, but I am gonna invest sooner or later. It's just gonna happen. I am gonna invest in getting high quality gear in both the cubing stuff. I'll probably get more cubes as well. Get bigger cubes like 6x6, 7x6, 7x7, 8x8, all that. I'll probably get all of that shit, and then I'll get high quality 3x3s, 4x4s. 2x2s, even though I think my 2x2 set, in my opinion, is probably one of the most smoothest cubes that I have. I'll probably get a new higher quality 2x2 Rubik's Cube as well. Alright, I think I'll end it off here. I'd like to explain my story, my backstory with cubing. This started all the way back in school. This started during A-level time. I would dare say I was in year 12, not year 13, but it could have been year 13. Maybe it was. Let's just in case, I'll say year 12, maybe. But let's carry on. So, I could have been in year 12 when I found out about this, but the way how I actually found out about cubing is because is through science club. I say the word because way too much. I need to carry on fucking reading. That actually was easier. I'm not sure if I said this, but reading yesterday, the side hustle book that I bought back in Canary Wharf, that was that was actually really, really easy. I got it in the Waterstones. Yeah, man. Reading, it started to get so much easier after I just thought, you know what, fuck consuming YouTube. I'm not gonna go and do it. If I really think that I have no other choice but to go on YouTube to go and watch a video, then okay. But I'm not going to allow myself to be fucking visually chained and shackled to the fucking phone. Yesterday when I was watching it before seeing that Tommy Innit growth video, I just visualized chains coming from the phone, from the screen. I visualized chains coming from the screen and wrapping around my neck. I visualized that, and I just thought, nah, I'm putting the screen down. But when I watched the Tommy Innit growth video, I thought, and I'm watching Hamza doing the same sort of techniques with having switching from clip to clip to clip so that you stay more engaged. I thought, you know, fuck all that shit. Oh my gosh, I'm not doing that. But to get rid of all of this digression and stick back to the topic. So my backstory. So I think I was in year 12. Let's call her Stephen, and let's call her another girl, Bilal. Why not? So, I need to explain. Give a teacher a name as well. Let's call him. I was thinking of calling him Jeffrey because Hamza talks about the Jeffrey Adonis thing quite a lot, and just to make it seem ironic, I was thinking of calling him Jeffrey. But nah. Let's call him Jacob. So Mr. Jacob. So I saw Mr. Jacob, Stephen, and fuck, what was the other girl's name? Adam, fuck it. Alright. Mr. Jacob, Stephen, and Adam. So Mr. Jacob is a man, and Stephen's a girl, and Adam's a girl. So let's carry on. So I saw all these guys. They're all cubing, and I was thinking, you know what? I want to try that out. Why not? And Stephen, she was making like the Japan flag and all that, and I had no fucking idea how to do that. It was so interesting. And Mr. Jacob was actually kind enough to give me one of his old cubes. So I big him up for that. And that's where my story started. I don't know if that was in year 12, but it could have been. But I'll tell you what though, Adam, I really didn't like Adam. Adam really wanted to get in my skin. Adam, actually, I shouted her name when this girl, yeah, she was fucking she threw shit at me once. She was pinching me, she was punching me, all that fucking bullshit. Once she threw an object at me in the science club, I said Adam out loud, and I thought, you know what, no, I'm just not having it. The teacher heard me, everyone heard me. I was like, what the fuck? I was looking at the door thinking of leaving. And I feel so grateful I'm not actually in that environment anymore. My honesty held no boundaries, and I actually called her a silly cunt to her face in the library in front of the librarian. But I'll tell you what though, I've changed from that person. I am not that same person anymore, and I really am not holding grudges against people anymore. I don't do that. That's not me. Not Skepta. No Skepta reference. Or no Skepta reference intended anyway. Yeah, I'm not that sort of guy that holds grudges anymore. I used to during A-level times, and maybe even GCSE times as well, but not anymore. They gave me Mr. Jacob, almost slipped up there. Mr. Jacob, he gave me his cube, and yeah, that's where it started. From there, I was thinking of buying a whole set. I did, and that's the set that I have today. And in the future, I'm going to get much more higher quality sets than I do at the moment, and I'm going to buy more cubes and shit as I get more invested and I want more challenges. I've had thoughts. Oh, I'm switching to a new topic, by the way. I've had thoughts of creating extremely long episodes just for the fun of it. 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, 10, 12, 16, 24, 36 hours, 48 hours. Just for the fun of it, to see how would that, if that's even possible. These wouldn't be logs. They would just be massive clips that I'd add together over the span of weeks or months. Absolutely something that I wouldn't do often. I wouldn't do this often. Shit. 48 hours worth of content. That's like a course worth. 48 hours worth. That's like a course worth of content. Maybe that's it. Maybe instead of I could create 24-hour videos, I could create 48-hour videos if YouTube allows me to upload it onto their platform. I think I've seen videos that are that long, so I think it is possible. But yeah, doing those videos, to be fair, if I create the footage for them over the span of months, like, that'd actually prepare me for creating courses. So I'm actually thinking, yeah, I may actually just do that. I might just. But yeah, I'm just thinking of doing these videos for the fun of it, just for bants, just so that people see that timestamp on YouTube and think, what the fuck? That's basically it. That's what I was thinking of doing it for. But now, in real time, you're hearing me change my mindset and think that I can not only do it for that reason, but I can also do it as preparation for courses. But getting back to the cubing now, I've written here that sometimes I feel I have so much enthusiasm and passion for this that it's like, because I can't, at this point in time, I'm not wrapping my head around how all of these Rubik's Cube algorithms work. I want to know why they work instead of only knowing what to do and how to solve the cube. So I could think, oh, you do this for that, you do this for that. That's how this works. And if I were to teach someone how to cube, then I'd know what I'm doing a lot more than I would otherwise. Not that I would want to know why it works for that reason, but that would just be a byproduct, a bonus of learning how the algorithms work. Not YouTube algorithm, even though it would help if I knew how that worked, probably, in order to grow the channel. But I'm just making the channel as I transform my life, and people like me for me because I'm doing that and when they see it. But anyway, let's keep it moving. Whilst I wrote something else that I wrote is I've learned that as I've been solving the 3x3 through the basic beginners method, that there are a few, I put one, but no, there are at least 3 2x2 algorithms 2x2 Rubik's Cube algorithms are used when solving a 3x3 through the basic method, but not the CFOP style, which I know is much quicker from experience, from actually learning a few CFOP algorithms. But I'm going to go through the basic one, the basic beginner's method first, learn that flat out, and then go to CFOP. So I thought, as I've been learning the 3x3 cube, when I say 3x3, I mean 3x3 cube, and when I say 2x2, I mean 2x2 cube. When I've been learning the 3x3 further, and my knowledge of the 2x2 with certain algorithms started to slip in my mind. However, that could have just been because of the fact that I could have overdone it, as my algorithm, how I was doing the algorithms was starting to slip, and they weren't working how they always work, because I wasn't doing it properly. I think I'll leave. There are two more things I think I'll make note of before leaving this episode. Yesterday, I think I've now completely understood what my quote-unquote fear was when seeing certain school kids in certain colours of uniform was. It was because I thought that those kids in that specific uniform could turn out to be Joseph Cumming. Or I say Joseph Cumming like he's a fucking murderer or a Scream character, or like Jason Voorhees or some shit. Man, the fuck up. That was my advice, and I'm taking it. That's for sure. I'm taking that advice. But I think I don't think it was fear that I experienced when seeing these kids in these certain colours school uniform. I think it was just the fact that it wasn't fearful thoughts, but it was me just not breathing deep, not breathing as I usually would. I know from experience from yesterday, when I was working through and realising what was happening, me going through that danger response, that it was all to do with my breathing. And that was it. My breathing was more shallow compared to normal. So I think that was the only reason why I thought I felt fear when in reality I didn't. And that was tied to the Joseph thing, which I've now worked through. I don't have a problem with that. But I think the reason why I thought I'd see Joseph in the same school uniform, as I felt fear of me potentially dying, potentially through him or his brother, some events leading up to something, and I get killed because of the dreams. I thought that was going to happen. Hence, I think I may have felt fear. Again, I may have felt fearful of him, which probably sounds very obvious through the previous logs, like my day 80 log, for example. But yeah, I just noticed that the only thing that was why I thought I felt fear was just because my breathing would become more shallow. And I didn't notice this. My breathing would become more shallow when seeing these teens, because I thought maybe I could have, subconsciously, I thought that maybe I would have seen Joseph in the same school uniform, because I saw another person, let's call him Patrick, in that same school uniform who goes to the skate park. So I think that's what that was. But I now know exactly what it was. It wasn't actually fearful thoughts when seeing these school children or teens. No, it was just shallow breathing. And then shallow breathing makes you feel like you're in danger. That's what happens when you feel like you're in danger, as far as I'm aware anyway. Yeah, I think from today I've completely worked through that. And I've used multiple days to be able to do so. So I think, yeah, now that fear of the dreams and me, the dreams of me dying, I think I no longer at all in any way have that fear anymore. So shout out to me for working that out yesterday, that it was just to do with shallow breathing. That was the reason why my body was feeling like it was in a fear response sort of thing, when in reality I was completely safe. I really want to make a 2-hour episode, but I think I'll leave it for another day, because I'd much rather do it earlier, a lot earlier than around 1 to 2. I've certainly gone much earlier than this. Maybe, I think I started around 11 and it's now around 2. Let me check the time quick. Yeah, I was right. I was bang on. It's hit 2:04, and I'm only about wrapping up this voiceover. I've got to export this voiceover, send it over to CapCut from iMovie. I export it from iMovie into the camera roll by clicking save video in 360p, so it doesn't take up as much storage. And then from there, I add it with the plank journey footage that I filmed before, of the 40-second video of me planking. I'll add this voiceover to that, and then extract the audio from this voiceover, seeing as it has pictures on it. Just the one day 95 thumbnail that I'm going to put for today's log. That's what the picture is on the iMovie voiceover. Yeah. And then once I've done that, that's going to be it. I'm going to add the talking and more talking photo, and just lengthen that out to however long it needs to be. And then that will be that. I'm not going to put at the end. I'm just going to, when it's the end, it's the end. I'll say, that's it. That's the end of the video. Peace. And yeah, we'll move on. All right. So one more thing. It was about reading the Side Hustle book again. Yeah. It was easier than ever. I retained information about the Kashmir story, why it's important to have an origin story, what is an origin story, and the fact that they made $3,000 worth of profit on selling cashmere shawls, I think they're called. So, yeah. The book was saying that it's important to have an origin story instead of just saying the facts, because they said that just saying the facts is boring. I think it's too brief to have any energy or mental investment into the story, because it's like, oh, he's done this and this, that's it. You can't invest yourself off that. It's just way too little information. So I think that was the main point that they were trying to get across. And I know from reading it, even around 12 hours or so, maybe, not 12 hours, more than 12 hours, maybe like 16 to 20 hours ago, I remember, or 12 to 20 hours ago, I remember, they were saying, have a at least somewhat long origin story explaining where you actually came up with the side hustle, because that will allow people to invest and think, oh, you know what, that's really inspiring. That was the main bit that they were trying to get across. And the fact that I've remembered it is absolutely amazing. Shout out to myself. Mate, how much I can retain in books is only improving. But there was one question that I wanted to ask when reading this book. So another part that this book wrote is, do you want to make another have another income source? And then it said something else. But I thought, like, where has the fulfillment part gone? Why is it that making money is the only main incentive towards doing that hustle? Why not have fun? Why not have fun and do it? Why not do it for fun? Like, why is it the only thing that's on your mind is money, you average fucking Joe or Jessica? Why? Why is that the only thing? Shout out to you for wanting to have another income source. Shout out to you for that. And shout out to you, especially if you've put in actions and taken actions for that to be a reality for you. Shout out to you for that. But why is it that you're only doing it for the money instead of fulfillment as well? Why? Yeah, that was a question that I just came up with about the book, I'm certainly not only going to think about the money side of things, I'm going to think about the fun side of things as well, because it has to be a fun thing that pays me and that I enjoy. That's certainly the plan anyway, and I'm fulfilling that plan every day, even if it may not seem like it to my family at this point in time anyway. Another thing, I wrote down, my stomach can no longer handle the mediocrity of overeating, abusing carbs, and not eating enough protein. My core, when I was taking a piss, felt like it was working out, and my stomach felt heavy that night. Yeah, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm going to cook for myself. And in order to do this, I need to go shopping. So I'm going to do that today. I think I'm going to go gym, come back, then go shopping. So that'll be after finishing up this voiceover and everything. Yeah, I'm not living that sort of lifestyle anymore. And I'm really using my money well, because I'm thinking of how I can how the money that I do have can make me more money, and also using it, if it's just spending, it's going to fucking benefit me. It's going to benefit me in a way that I want, with the healthy eating and all of that. With the healthy eating, the gym memberships, driving lessons, like these are all just to invest into what I'm doing and my plans. I'd also like to make a note of the fact the left side of my waist was hurting for a short while whilst I was laying in bed, meaning that I was staying in bed for way too long, or it was that I was staying on my left side for way too long. I've experienced this in the past, and I've spoken about this in the past, but I think only being in the bedroom at 7 p.m. onwards, and then after you've changed, you can't go in the bedroom again. That's going to help with being in bed a healthy amount. Although I do have a lot more to say, I'm going to leave it here. I am going to make a note of what I want to say and address in tomorrow's log, which I haven't done today, which I wanted to do today. So I'll get onto that and get this video up and running onto YouTube. So that's it. That's the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed, learned something valuable, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Take care of yourselves and don't suppress yourselves. Live to improve your mental strength. And mate, I'm telling you, even from a few days of doing this, your life will transform. You'll love yourself for it. You'll have respect for yourself for it. And from personal experience, I'm speaking to my parents differently, and my parents are speaking to me differently. We're speaking in a much more friendly way. Not civil, no, friendly. We're speaking to each other in a friendly way. And last year, it just wasn't like that. I didn't want to speak to my parents at all, because I had my own things that I needed to work through. And this platform is what's allowed me to do it. So I'll never shit on YouTube. I'll never shit on YouTube for that reason, even though I think that YouTube, to keep it to stay true to myself, it can, if you allow it to, hook you into consuming YouTube and staying on the platform in an unhealthy way. YouTube does not give a fuck about your mental health. It's certain creators like Therapy in a Nutshell that do. They give a fuck, but it's just that the YouTube is a platform for them to upload. But the YouTube, the big boys, like the CEO and that, Susie, and that, like, those guys don't know you. They don't give a fuck about you. Yeah. So just know that. And using this allows you to transform your life. Having an outlet, even if it's not YouTube, where you just talk and have a place to be able to look through them and click onto the thoughts that you were thinking a long time ago, and from day to day, doing this every day. Like, it's amazing. So in that aspect, I won't shit on YouTube. YouTube is doing wonders for me. It's allowed me to change my life. Even at this point, with a meager 5 subscribers. Yes. 5 subscribers, yes. And with it basically being only me that watches it. Money May is watching. Are other people watching? I don't know. But day by day, bit by bit, and piece by piece, more people are going to be watching, and more people are going to be in the self-improvement community with us. So shout out to everyone that's here right now, the OGs, and shout out to everyone that's going to be here in the future as well, that aren't the original 5 subscribers. But yeah, that's it. Take care of yourselves, don't suppress yourselves, and live to improve your mental strength by working through it, through audio, writing thoughts down on pad, and exercising and eating healthily, having your own core values that you live by in that. That's what's going to take you to the top and completely transform not only yourself, but your life situation and your lifestyle, how you think about things and how people talk to you, how your dating opportunities, everything, man, everything. It will transform everything, I'm telling you. And I'm just saying that from personal experience. Even though I haven't experienced, I have experienced girls looking at me in the cars and that, but when it comes to girls really showing an interest in me in person, in the gym, that hasn't happened. People just wait. We're doing our own thing, man. And if that does happen, girls do show their interest in me in the gym and outside of the gym, then I may just let you know. But I'm not going to get into too much detail about that side of things because, again, anonymity is a very important thing. Everyone deserves their privacy. But I think, yeah, that's it. Take care of yourselves. Don't suppress yourselves. Live to improve your mental strength. And I'm telling you, people will speak to you differently. You will speak to yourself differently, and you'll transform your life. Have an outlet to be able to talk and work through shit. It's going to allow you to be a completely different person. But yeah, that's it. That's the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something valuable. Take care of yourselves. Don't suppress yourselves. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Love yourselves and have respect for yourselves. Love you all.